Good evening, I'm Donna Bush with your CIG-TV News Brief and weather forecast. Thanks as always for being here with us. The Health Services Authority recently presented Little Cayman with its first new purpose-built ambulance at the Blossom Village Park. Before getting the new ambulance, Little Cayman utilized an emergency response vehicle which did not adequately suit the needs of the emergency services of the island. Therefore, it was determined that an upgrade was required. HSA CEO Lizette Yearwood stated that the new vehicle shows the authority's continued commitment to providing an improved and accessible healthcare system for the entire population of the Cayman Islands. Now, government officials, including the Honorable Moses Colonel, Deputy Premier, and Government Minister, attended the presentation. Well, last Sunday, more than 400 runners and walkers woke up before sunrise to take part in the annual Color Me Purple 5K Fun Run Walk held in Safe Haven. Each year during Honoring Women Month in March, the Family Resource Center organizes the event to raise funds for young parent services. Money raised will help to provide support to young parents between the ages of 13 and 25 to meet basic needs, gain parenting skills, remove barriers to access training and education opportunities, and of course to gain employment. Meantime, dozens of primary school athletes hit the track and field at the Truman Bodden Complex on Wednesday morning. Hundreds of parents, teachers, school staff, and officials were there supporting the athletes from the island's public and private primary schools.
I also want to say that I will not be here tomorrow or Friday, but my two counselors, David and Barbara, and the sports officer and administrator, Joel Francis, will be here representing myself. As you would obviously realize, we're in election time, and for me, I can't drive home every night. I have to fly to Cayman, some 90 miles away. But rest assured that my heart and my thoughts will be here with you, watching you compete as I enter my own competition. As a former physical education teacher and an athlete which represented Cayman as well, it offered me so many possibilities. In fact, it got me my scholarship, which allowed me to complete my tertiary education, which was the foundation for me doing my law degree. And why am I saying that? To let you know that not only that sports bind us together, bring us together, all colors, all nationalities, all countries, but it also will offer your children that possibility to get scholarships to compete on the international stage for Cayman or your country of choice if you're just visiting as on a work permit and has not got your status or PR, which I hope you do, because I'm always looking good people to come here to help us build our country. And I thank those of you who have helped us, even here today as officials, as teachers, as coaches, as nurses, and all the different occupations. The Jamaicans have a saying which I love: out of many, one people. And that is what we want to display here today as we come here, one love throughout these competitions, and may the best school win. Obviously, if I were not minister, I would like to say Cayman, but I'm not allowed to say that, yeah? God bless all of you and have a wonderful day.
Now, the finals for the track and field competition inter-primary schools will take place at the Truman Bodden Complex later on this week. Turning to our forecast for this Wednesday, the high temperature reached 85 degrees, the low 73. Winds are southeasterly 10 to 15 knots during the day, with higher gusts becoming 5 to 10 knots by night. Seas are moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Now, the synopsis shows a slight to moderate easterly winds and seas which are expected for the next 24 hours. It's all due to a high-pressure system that's over the western Atlantic Ocean. Radar images show isolated showers that are just southeast of the Grand Cayman area, moving west to northwest. Now, remember, the Weather Services app is CINWS, that you can download that, or you can go to their website, weather.gov.ky, for the very latest on our local forecasts. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Donna Bush, inviting you to join us here again tomorrow. Until then, enjoy your evening.
Join Donna Bush weekdays at 6 p.m. for the CIGTV News Update. Get the latest on what's happening in government on a daily basis. News Update first at 6 p.m.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.